This is the brand new Hohem V3 Ultra, and it's not your average smartphone gimbal. Unlike the heavier pro-focused M7 that I reviewed before by Hohem, this one is pocketable, doesn't require balancing, and is built to be quick and easy. So let's check it out. Now, like I said in the intro, I love that there's no balancing required. With most gimbals, you spend a lot of time unlocking axes and finding balance before you even start shooting, and here, you just drop your phone in and you're filming right away. That convenience is really, really huge, especially if you're on the go and you're trying to capture things quickly. But the trade-off, though, is that for heavier phones like my iPhone 15 Pro Max, it can kind of push it close to its limit. Now, you might notice that this gimbal is extremely compact, and when I first got it, I was frustrated because I saw the 3/4 mount and I thought to myself, why is there no included tripod like there was with the M7? But that's because it comes with built-in tripod legs. They just slide right out, and then you have 3 little legs for it to sit on. And while these legs do look brittle and kind of flimsy, even when this thing is extended all the way to the top like this, it actually does a decent job of staying stable even on unstable ground. And then also it folds down small enough so you can actually fit it into your pocket. Now, one of my favorite features about any of the Hohem gimbal products is the fact that they have a removable screen, and this is killer for a number of different reasons. This screen directly connects to the camera that actually tracks you, and that's why these Hohem gimbals are so nice to have. Just like with the M7, with this little screen, you select your subject, you'll see a little yellow box pop up, typically around people's faces. It's really good at face tracking. You double tap the box, it turns green, and that locks in the AI tracking mode, and it will follow that wherever you want it to look. I will say the tracking is not perfect. There's times where it lags behind if you're moving side to side too fast. There's also kind of this jerkiness where it'll kind of catch up to you if it loses track of you. But with this being such a brand new product to hit the market, I expect there to be a couple of kinks to work out, and I think Hohem's gonna fix this pretty quickly because the M7's great in that regard. Now, another thing that the V3U has is gesture controls, and this is super nice because not only can you use the screen to start recording, you can also use gesture controls to do a lot of different things with it. Now, while I do have this remote right here and I can start and stop AI tracking, I do want to try the hand gesture. So I'm going to set the remote down like this, and we're going to stop. And the little light turned red on the actual camera itself. And now you can see I'm walking in and out of frame and it's not following me. But if I come back and I do the OK signal, the light turns green, it locks onto me, and it starts moving. Now let me show you from my mirrorless camera's perspective what that looks like. The light turns red, you can see that it stops tracking me, and then I walk back over here, do the OK symbol, and it starts tracking me again. So the follow functions and the auto hand tracking is a really nice feature to have. Now here's a really interesting feature. If I hold this in front of the camera, it will allow me to position myself without moving it, but it's still tracking me so that whenever I show this again, now it will follow me, but it'll keep me in the frame that I chose to be, which right now should be the right of the frame, and so it's trying to stay ahead of me. But right now it seems to have lost me and went to a vertical mode. So I don't know why it did that. As you can see, the AI controls are not perfect, but this is some firmware and software stuff that Hohem can definitely work on that I think will improve it. And let's see how fast that actually works. So stop. And then as I'm walking, okay? So it doesn't seem to pick up the signal very well if you're moving, but then sometimes it does. So there's definitely some updates that it's going to need, but overall it is working pretty well. Also, you can see as it's spinning right now and following me, I'm moving pretty quick, it's following pretty quick, and you can see that this thing is stable. Let's even go for a light jog. Oh, and it lost me. Now, one of the things that's really nice about this gimbal and a lot of Hohem gimbals is the fact that it has 360-degree infinite spin. The pan axis can rotate endlessly, which opens up a lot of creative options for orbit shots or dramatic spins. I like it because I can walk anywhere in my studio if I have it centrally located, and it kind of almost works like a 360 camera, except in real time where it's just following you around. You probably won't use this feature all the time, but it is nice to know that it won't lose you if you walk around behind the actual gimbal itself. Now, just like its bigger brother, the M7, it also comes with a built-in light. The AI tracker has a small fill light. It's really handy for quick clips, but only at a couple watts. It's more of a supplement than like a real light source. So it's good for giving your face like a little bit of pop, but it's not really a replacement for dedicated lighting. Now, Hohem has their Joy app support. The app adds creative modes like motion time-lapse, panoramas, and inception shots. It's nice that you don't need the app for AI tracking since that is built in, but if you you want more complex moves, the app still matters. Now, you know me, I hate apps. I will avoid apps at all costs, so I just want you to know that it exists, not something that I'm going to be using personally. Now, for stabilization, that's going to be the biggest question on a gimbal that's this small. And I have to say, for something of this size, it's actually impressive. Walking shots came out pretty smooth, and even with a larger iPhone on it, the little motors in this gimbal are doing a good job of making sure that it feels like you're using a gimbal. The shorter design actually helps by keeping the phone's weight closer to your hand, and the only time I saw it falter was during faster, heavier movements, where it couldn't smooth out bumps as well as a bigger gimbal could. Now, back on the tracking piece, outdoors, in daylight, the AI tracking works beautifully. Indoors in lower light, though, it definitely does struggle, like I said. Now, the overall build quality for something so small and lightweight is actually solid. And a good example of this is actually the extension rod. This little aluminum rod actually feels pretty secure when you have your phone on it, and it does not feel flimsy. I'm actually putting a lot of pressure on this, and it's not bending at all, and I wouldn't recommend doing this for your gimbal, but that's the point of watching a review. But I do think that Hohem did a really good job of nailing the balance between portability and durability, which is really hard to do in this form factor. Now, before we dive into some of the things that I think could improve on this gimbal, I do want to talk about today's sponsor, and that is Proton VPN. Right now, it feels like every country across the world is trying to monitor what we're doing online, and I don't like that. So I use Proton VPN to make sure that I am secure and protected, as well as my data. Proton offers a number of different packages that not only include VPN services, but mail and cloud storage and anything that you could possibly need. There's also a built-in kill switch in case your ISP decides to monitor your network, which is really nice because it'll shut off the access just like that. And Proton is based out of Switzerland, which follows a lot more rules and regulations to make sure that you are protected while browsing online. It's a free VPN service that you can use, but 64% off in the description below. If you're interested, check that link out. Now, as far as where I think this gimbal can improve, several times you've seen me move it around and it just flops, right? If you don't have it folded down like this for storage, then it doesn't have a way to lock itself from moving around. I guess there's some of that 360 I was talking about. So unless the functionality is built in and I haven't found it yet, I would like the ability to lock the gimbals in place so they didn't spin as much. Also, the one thing that's kind of a pain, and I'll show you, I'm going to turn it on right now, is if your phone is not positioned perfectly, it can get caught on this centerpiece right here and you have to fix it. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention that I do like is the fact that orientation mode is no longer built on turning the actual physical phone holder. It's built right into the device. So you can go from landscape to vertical super easy. So because we're getting into a gimbal of this size with a very small form factor, it makes you wonder, what type of people is this actually for? A good comparison that I like to make is with like something like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. That's a fantastic little gimbal camera that does pretty much everything. It's a Swiss Army knife. This is not that. You have to have a phone in addition to the gimbal, but the price on this thing is so cost effective that, and most people already have a phone, that's a big strong selling point for this. So for my final assessment on this gimbal, it's not perfect. No product is, but I think it does a lot of things right. Hohem's ability to take the screen with you and from 15 feet away being able to see what your phone is seeing is absolutely killer. And the fact that the AI camera is not relying on your phone to follow you, that's another really nice plus, meaning that you do not have to use an app. I also love this 12-inch extension rod with the built-in little tripod legs that just give it so much more versatility than most small gimbals that you can find on the market. And I also like the fact that it charges via USB-C and has its own internal battery. So who it's actually for are creators who are trying to take the next step in their content creation process but don't want to break the bank. It's not going to get you through a professional shoot. I mean, sure, if you're good enough with it, I'm sure you can get some really killer shots, because especially I like to pair it with the Blackmagic camera app. I mentioned this when I reviewed the M7. That unlocks a whole different level of your phone's ability to record good quality video. That with this gimbal, you can get some shots that are looking really, really good, but it's also so beginner friendly. And that's one of my favorite things about this gimbal is you can just pick it up and start using it. And it comes with a very simple, quick start guide, right? Like it doesn't take much at all for you to start getting the maximum use out of this gimbal. And I think that's a big plus. So for me, I think it's the best first step into the gimbal market that you can take. It's not going to be your end goal if you want to be a true professional content creator, but it's going to give so much versatility to your kit, and it's so easy to keep with you, and it's almost a no-brainer for almost any level of experience. So overall, it's definitely got my stamp of approval, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who is new on the market for a gimbal or just want something that they can keep with them at all times whenever those random filming events pop up that you need. So if you want to check it out, there are affiliate and non-affiliate links down in the description below. And also be sure to check out the memberships tab if you want to see videos before they go live, and a ton of other behind the scenes footage that I'm starting to include. I would love for you to be more involved with the Freaky Tech family. But thank you so much for being here today. Again, I'm Corey with Freaky Tech Reviews. I'll see you next time. Real quick before you go, YouTube thinks that you might like this video right here, so be sure to check it out and continue exploring the Freaky Tech Reviews channel.